Welcome to Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. Our show brings you closer to the heart of Texas A&M athletics through powerful stories of perseverance, purpose, and life-changing opportunities made possible by 12th Man Foundation donors. From student athletes and coaches to former students and dedicated staff, you'll hear firsthand how donor support shapes the lives of Aggie student athletes in competition and beyond. Whether you're a lifelong Aggie or simply curious about what makes Texas A&M so special, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Howdy, and welcome back to another episode of Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. I'm your host, Ivy Robinson, and before I introduce today's guest, I have a quick update to share from the 12th Man Foundation. 2026 spring season ticket renewals are officially open now through November 13th. If you're a current season ticket holder for Aggie baseball, softball, tennis, or track and field, make sure to renew by the November 13th deadline to secure your seats. To renew, you can visit 12th.info/spring renewals today. Thank you for your support, and we can't wait to see you in Aggieland this spring. Okay, without further ado, I'm excited to be joined in studio today by Aggie Football student athlete Dalton Brooks. Dalton, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Dalton, okay, I got to know, what's something that you think fans would be surprised to know about you off the field? Like outside of football, who is Dalton Brooks? You know, what's like a perfect day off when there's like no football, no classes, just Dalton?
A perfect day off for me, I got to start my morning with some kind of breakfast. I usually get caramel kolache. I love breakfast food. And then I would say just spend the day with my dog. And probably for me, I like to do stuff at home. Like I like to work on speakers and stuff. I love speakers. So I like to work on speakers and stuff, or really anything I could build. That's a perfect day to me, just building something throughout the day, just chilling at home.
Really? The speaker thing is so interesting. In fact, when I was actually walking down to the studio today to record this episode, I passed, I think it was some Aggie Football equipment managers, and they were loading the trailer for the Arkansas game, but there was a turtle box speaker, and I was thinking, I really, really want one of those turtle box speakers.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I have one. I have a few, actually. I have a few speakers in my house. Like I said, I love speakers, so I got 2 vehicles, and I have speakers in both of them, and it's just a love for me. I've always loved speakers, and it's just never left me wherever I go.
Yeah. Are you a big music guy?
Yeah, I love music. Like I'm really detailed about music. Like I don't just listen to music to listen to it. I listen to the beat. I listen to how the words are said, what's being said, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Have you ever made any music on your own? Like, you know how these Mac computers have GarageBand where you can layer in tracks and stuff? Have you ever dabbled into that?
I haven't made any music, but I have family that does, so they kind of showed me how to make beats and stuff. And for me, that's the main thing I want to make. I love to make beats. I love to hear how a beat sound and put one together.
Wait, that's so fun. So fun. Okay, before we get into the bulk of our questions, I have a few more fun questions to ask you really quick to really let our listeners, just give them a deeper perspective on who you are as a person. So I have some fun this or that questions, and so I'm going to ask you, and then you respond with your preference and then why, okay?
All right.
Okay, so early morning workout or late night film study?
Early morning workout.
Why?
Because then after that, you really got pretty much the whole day where you can study film. But late night film study, then you kind of losing sleep most of the time. So I would say early workout because of that.
Country music or hip hop?
I would have to say hip hop. I grew up in a town full of country music, so I do like country music, but I kind of grew out of it once I got out of high school. So I would have to say hip hop.
Kind of got old, burnt out on it. Okay, yeah. Sack or interception?
That's a tough one. But I got to go interception because I'm a safety. So I got to go interception. You know, you get a chance to really run the ball. You get a sack, you just get a sack. But if you get an interception, you can put 6 points on the board.
Yeah. Energy-wise, what do you think, or I guess you'll probably say interception, but what's the difference in energy-wise when you make a sack or when you make an interception?
Interception is kind of a relief feeling because, you know, we play in the back 7, so that's really what we want to do. But I also blitz, so a sack for me it's kind of even more, it's more of a rush because the lineman trying to block me, and if I beat the lineman, then it makes me feel like I'm, you know what I'm saying, doing two things at once. So I would probably say a sack is more of a rush feeling, but yeah, interception is great too.
Nice. Okay, barbecue or Tex-Mex?
I gotta go barbecue. I love Tex-Mex, but it's just a certain way. My dad, he's great at barbecuing, so growing up on that, I just grew to love barbecue.
It's making me hungry. I love barbecue too. Honestly, I don't know how I would answer that question because I love both of them equally so much. Yeah. So that's a hard one. Okay, home games or road games? I have a feeling I know how you're going to answer this.
Yeah, I got to say home games. It's no place like this place. You know, every time we come in here, it's rocking. No matter who we play, no matter when we play, it's always the same atmosphere, and it's a great atmosphere every time.
Netflix or gaming?
Netflix. I'm the youngest of 5 boys, so I kind of grew out of the games. Like, I'll play my game here and there, but it's kind of rare for me to even turn my game on now.
Sneakers or slides?
Oh, I gotta go sneakers. I wear slides all the time, but if I really want to, I could wear shoes all the time because you can put so many things on with shoes. With slides, it's only a certain amount of things you could put on with them.
What's your favorite pair of sneakers?
Yeah, I would have to say my Miris that's like bedazzled. They full bedazzled. They're all black
Straight
and they're
bedazzled?
Yeah, they're black bedazzled. I would say those are my favorite.
Do you wear those on game days?
Yeah, I wear them. I've worn them twice in the weeks we played, but I try to keep them put up so they don't get too dirty.
Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
I would have to say mountain because I'm not getting in the beach water, to be honest. So I would have to say mountain. I've never been up to the mountain, so that'll be something new for me.
Yeah. City life or small town living?
That's a great one. I definitely got to say small town. I'm from a small town. I mean, the city life is great because there's so much more to do, but being from a small town and knowing how it really is, it's more calm. You know everybody. It's not too many people that you don't know. So it feels like more of a connection in a small town.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. I am also from a small town, so I can completely relate to that. Okay, last this or that question.
Okay.
Cook at home or eat out?
I got to say cook at home because it's kind of rare, but my family, we always cooked when I was younger, and so then I pretty much learned how to cook from that. So really anytime I get a chance to cook, I'll cook at home.
If you're going to make a meal or you're trying to impress guests that come over, what are you making?
I'm going to make something everybody likes. So probably some enchiladas, Spanish rice, some corn, and then maybe have somebody else pick a side that they like and make that.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Like maybe some queso or
something like that. Some extra for the enchiladas maybe or something like that.
You know, you mentioned in one of those, let's go back to you being from a small town, growing up in a small town. You're from Shiner, Texas, a place that we both know lives and breathes high school football. Yeah. Can you tell us about your background and some of your earliest memories of playing the game in Shiner, Texas?
I moved to Shiner in the 4th grade, and from then on, it was kind of like, yeah, this is a great place to be because the academics were great, and, you know, the people were great. And then from there, we got into junior high. We actually lost my first year at junior high. I'm pretty sure we lost almost every game. And then after that, a kid moved in from, I think, East Texas somewhere. He was a quarterback for us. And then from there, we kind of just took off. And then once I got in high school, I was with my brother. So after that, it was kind of a done deal, honestly. Me and him, we had so much chemistry together. High school was probably the funnest time, I would say, playing football, honestly.
Tell me, okay, your brother, what's the age gap?
He's 1 year older than me, so we've been playing football since 5 and 6 years old together. We've always been the same age group. Or either I've played up or he's like, some way me and him were going to find a way to play on the same team.
Yeah. I know Shiner, I mean, y'all went on, y'all won a state championship. Was it
we won
2020 or 21 or both?
Yeah, we won 2020 and 2021.
Awesome.
Well, no, 21 and 2022.
Which you would have been a part of that team, right? Yeah.
Sophomore and junior year.
Tell us about those seasons and what you learned, how you grew as a football player.
The first year, I was kind of young. I was a sophomore, so I was really out there just playing, not realizing what we could really do. And then my brother kind of sat me down and talked to me and told me, like, we had a real chance, like, to go win. And so after that, I started to focus more, really tied myself into the game more. And then the second year, it was on me and him because he was a senior, I was a junior. So it was kind of all up to us, really, to make it happen. So from there, it was kind of like you just got to put your head down and work. And that's what I realized. And once I got here, it was a great transformation because that's what it is in college. Put your head down and work.
Mm-hmm. You were a true three-phase athlete in high school. You played offense, defense, and special teams. When did you know, let's go back. When did you know that football, that was going to be your thing and that was your sport?
I was 5 years old and they gave me the ball and told me, don't let anybody touch you. And that's when I scored my first ever touchdown. And I was like, okay, I think I like this. And then a year goes by, I got hit pretty hard one time. And then after that, I was like, I don't really like that. But same year, I hit somebody pretty hard. And then I was like, okay, I think this is for me.
So were there ever any moments of adversity or challenge like coming up in football where you're like, did you ever question if you wanted to continue it, or has it always been something you're passionate about?
It's always been something I've been passionate about, but you do question it sometimes. I mean, even as a kid, I did. Like when we would play teams that were way bigger than us and stuff like that, you would question like, okay, do I really want to go out here and play against these people? But I mean, you get over it. Like everybody has those fears and those nerves, but you get over it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think playing and growing up in a small town specifically taught you, both as an athlete and a person?
It teaches you to be real. Like, honestly, it teaches you to be a real person because, I mean, you can't be somebody on the field and a different person, like, outside the field because everybody knows everybody. So it kind of teaches you to be a real person. I would say you can't be somebody different, but, like, they could also, in a small town, there's no 10,000 people at the game, nothing like that. It's like 500, so they could hear everything that's being said on the field and stuff like that. It just taught me to be respectful at all times, no matter where I'm at, honestly.
Mm-hmm. It's great advice. It's so true. Yes. Okay. I want to know more about your recruitment journey specifically. I'm sure some listening to this podcast episode will know about it, but some may not. So give us the background on your recruitment journey specifically. I know you had a lot of offers from big programs. What made Texas A&M the right fit for you and stand out?
I would say honestly, I took one other visit besides here. I took two actually. I visited Notre Dame, and when I got there, I was like, okay, the weather's not too bad. But as I walk in the street, the people don't even look at you. They don't say anything. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is much different than being back at home. So I was like, I don't think this is for me. And then I went down the street to the other school, and I was like, I don't think the city life is for me. So when I came here, it's like a brotherhood here. It's like really having real family here. And nowhere else is like this place. You can't be as tied in with your teammates as we are here. And I knew that from the jump, and that's what made this place home for me.
Awesome. So it felt truly like a family, and yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the people sell this place, in my opinion, at Texas A&M. It's about the culture, and I mean, you want to come be a part of a program where you enjoy the people you're working with and challenging each other with, and trying to chase, the ultimate goal of bringing some championships back to this place with. Like, you want to do that with people.
Yeah, it is. That is the best thing to do, honestly. Like me, York, and Marcel, I would say that's probably like, you could find us together any time of the day, honestly. Me and him live together, so me and him are just like brothers. If you see him, I'm somewhere around, or if you see York, I may be somewhere around, something like that. But it's pretty much everybody on the team is like brothers.
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually wanted to ask you about that. It's true. Don't the three of y'all always do the war hymn together at the end of games. Is that right? Like, can you just tell our listeners a little bit more about y'all's friendship and how it's grown over the years? Because y'all were the same recruitment class, right?
That whole recruitment class. We took a picture at the beginning of the year. Like, when we got here, we knew things weren't on the right track, but we were like, we're going to be the class that starts to get this going the right way. And now things are going the right way, so it's just us living out what we talked about. And for us to do the war hymn every time, it just reminds us that it was us three when, you know what I'm saying, all these other people left and things like that. And that's all we need is us three, and we'll make it.
Yeah, I had that loyalty. Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of Kyle Field and the war hymn, do you remember the very first time you walked into Kyle Field, what your emotions and your perspective was?
Yeah, my first time as a player walking it was crazy, honestly, because I knew what it was because I was here for the Bama game when we beat them, so I knew like how loud the crowd could get. But walking out that tunnel, it's nothing like it. You could hear, as soon as you come out the locker room, you could hear the fans. And then the music flips, and then you know what time it is. So it's just, honestly, the first time I would say it was kind of overwhelming, honestly, because I was young. I was like, okay, let me psych myself up for this, but you can't get ready for that. It's just something different.
I can only imagine what that feeling is like walking down that main tunnel. You know, you've played every game, Dalton, since arriving at A&M. What drives you to stay consistent and keep improving?
Honestly, my family back home, we don't really come from too much, but we have enough. We have what we need. And I know I have a chance to do something special and really change, like, my whole family's trajectory. And so really that, and then just my dream of making it happen, like going to the NFL. I mean, you got to come out here and work every day if you want to do that. And so I would say my family and then my dreams, honestly.
It sounds like your family means a lot to you. Tell us about your family. You said you're one of five
Yeah, I'm the youngest
siblings?
of 5 boys.
5 boys. I'm sure you have some stories from
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up, but
Oh, yeah.
tell us about your family, and maybe, how about this? Tell us about your family and then some of the life lessons you learned as a young kid, or maybe some of those lessons that your parents instilled in you as a young kid.
My family it's a very tight-knit family. So we have a big family, but just last night we had 15 people on a FaceTime call for like 30 minutes. We just sitting there.
50? Oh, that's fun.
We just sitting there talking. And I mean, growing up, it wasn't too bad. We always had what we needed. And so they taught us to make sure you have what you need, not what you want, and just respect everybody at all times, And I would say one of the main things that my brothers taught me, they taught me that you could really do anything you want to. They told me when I was, I think, about 15, they were like, I want you to be, all 4 of them said it. They were like, I want you to be the best out of all of us. And that's how it's happening. So I just got to keep it going.
That's awesome. Did any of them play sports in college?
My brother that's a year older than me, he plays at Kingsville right now. And then the other 3, they discontinued after, one of them played 1 year, then he stopped. And then the oldest, he had physical problems, so he couldn't continue playing. And then my third oldest brother, he didn't make the side. So
yeah. That's awesome. That it sounds like y'all are super close, and sounds like they're an incredible support system for you too.
Yeah,
Do they make it to every home game that they can?
They try to make it to every game. They're actually, I'm not that big compared to the 2 oldest ones, or my brother that's a year older than me. But my middle brother, he's about 5'7". But other than that, the rest of them are pretty big dudes. So I always know when they're in the crowd, and it's fun to see them out there.
How did they challenge you specifically in football, like growing up?
So it used to be, we would play every morning before we went to school, and it would be me and my oldest brother on the team, and then my middle brother and my brother that's a year older than me on the team, and then my second oldest brother, he was like all-time quarterback, all-time roller. He never played. And so that alone right there kind of showed me, like, no matter where you at, who's on the team, you could make it happen. And like from there, we would always go to the field and stuff like that. So I would really say doing that all the time really helped me get to where I am.
You said yourself, like, compared to your brothers, you were a little smaller, but what do you say to people, maybe young athletes who are playing in a safety role or a linebacker role? Maybe they're a little smaller, but they they have the fight and the passion in them, and they play big. Like, what do you say to those people?
Just be fearless, you got to be fearless. I mean, you're never going to be the biggest person on the field. And so, I mean, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's how I think. And just be fearless out there. You can't think about it. You can't hesitate. You just got to go do it. That's honestly how I think about it. You got to go do it, and do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. Good advice. Good advice. Speaking of being fearless and big game moments and things that have happened during your career, I want to know what was going through your mind when you made that fumble recovery during the blackout game against Mississippi State.
That was fun. I was very confused because as I'm running up on the tackle, I could see him losing the ball, but I didn't think it would just fly straight to me. So when I got it, I was ecstatic. I'm running, I was like, okay, I got to go score. And then he tackled me. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. But that was a great moment. Everybody celebrated it. Everybody loved it. And so it was a great moment.
Somebody lifted you up over there on the sideline.
That was T.O.
When thinking about other plays and moments that really mean a lot to you, reflecting on your time at Texas A&M so far, what would be the moments that stand out to you?
I would say the Mizzou game. Even though we were up like 41, whatever, when they ran the little slip
This was
screen.
last year during
Last
2024 season?
Yeah, with the running back, they did that. And from then on, I kind of realized, like, because it was a busted play and I just made a good tackle. From then on, I realized it was kind of like I could stop all the bad from happening. And so from then on, I was like, okay, I got to continue to make these kind of plays.
So changing the topic really quick, I want to touch on just the brotherhood of the Aggie football program right now, the culture. Can you speak to Coach Elko, his staff, and their leadership? And what's something that you think they've done for the program that's really, turned it around and made it what it is today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you speak to that?
I would say they instilled discipline, really, honestly. They came in, they instilled discipline. They made us do the things right, like every little thing. They made us do it right. You had to be on time. You couldn't be a minute late. And I think that's the change that we needed here. And he wasn't taking excuses, so you couldn't come to him with an excuse and think you get out of it. So I think that's what did it. And then they're great coaches. They push us every day. Like, they make sure we're on time for everything. And so I think that alone is what has helped this team become the team it is.
So you'd say like that structure has been really valuable. Des Ricks, he mentioned something about that on his podcast episode on this show, how he went to the IMG Academy in high school and he really valued the structure there. How they were very hard on, them, and then coming here, it was kind of the same thing. So you'd say like that structure and accountability.
Yeah, because that's kind of how it was for me in high school. I mean, my coaches weren't necessarily too hard on me in high school, but my dad was. So he was always hard on me as a coach. And for me, when I got here, I kind of wanted to be coached the same. And after Jimbo left, we brought in Elko, and that was, the moment, the day I see him, I was like, okay, this is the guy that's going to get it done.
What was going through your mind when that coaching shift happened? Like when they announced Elko was going to be the new head coach, where were you? What was going on?
I think I was at home, honestly. The first thing I did was call York. I was like, okay, York, who is this?
That's right, because he knew Coach Elko, had a relationship with him, yep.
Yeah, I called him. I was like, who is this? What do I need to know? Stuff like that. And then pretty much from now, I was like, okay, if York believe in him, I'm for sure can believe in him.
That's awesome. Who's someone in the locker room that's really pushed or inspired you?
I would have to say York. York and Bryce Anderson. Me and Bryce play safety together. So he's seen me grow since my freshman year. He's been here all of my time here. So he's always pushed me. And then me and York, we try to push each other every day. If we see hands on our hips, like during the period or something like that, we both tell each other, keep going. Mm-hmm. It's not that bad, stuff like that. And I would say those two, really. And then, of course, Marcel, me and him live together. So every day we come home, we chopping it up about what I seen when we went against them or what he seen when he went against us. Mm-hmm. So I think those three people are very, very big part of that.
Yeah. On the flip side, who are some of the younger guys on the team that you're kind of mentoring and pouring into?
I would say Tom, honestly. He's our safety. All the safeties, we pour into him every day. We try to make him the best player he could be at this moment. And then, because we know our time here isn't going to last forever, so we want to keep the legacy going through him.
And who do you think, I'm personally curious, is the funniest teammate in the defensive back room right now, and why?
The defensive back. We count linebackers?
Yep.
Tristan Jernigan, guarantee you. Nobody, the things he says, it some of it doesn't even make sense, but it's so off the wall that it's funny, honestly.
Those are the best kind of personalities.
Yes.
Okay, now changing the topics really quick. Let's talk about the value of an Aggie degree, like the education that you're getting here at Texas A&M. We both know that degree holds a lot of value. Mm-hmm. Tell us, what are you studying here at Texas A&M?
Right now, I'm studying leadership, but I do plan to come back to school, honestly. I want to be a physical therapist, and I know coming back here and studying here is a great place to get that degree and make that happen. I'm doing leadership right now, but I'm planning to come back to school and become a physical therapist one day.
That's awesome. That's really, so why physical therapist? Anything specific or just?
Both of my parents are nurses. They've been nurses all my life. So I kind of wanted to take that into a different field. I'm more sports. So that's kind of what did it for me.
Yeah, it's a perfect blend right there. What resources, Dalton, as a student athlete, y'all have an awesome amount of resources to utilize to help you stay on track here at Texas A&M, whether it's academic tutors, even the nutritionist, sports medicine. Like, what resources have helped you really elevate your game and also help you be a great individual, not only in competition, but in the classroom?
I would honestly say This academic center we just got, it's great. You can come up here anytime pretty much and get your work done, or come up here and ask questions if you need to. And really the nutrition, honestly, because for me, gaining weight was hard. So once the new nutrition got here and then we got this new cafeteria, that kind of made it much easier to just sit down, eat all the time, make sure I'm keeping weight and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. In addition to just the resources, that's one layer of support, but how have you also experienced elite level of support from, let's say, the individuals, the donors, the season ticket holders who come and support y'all, whether it's at games, whether they give financially to help support student athlete scholarships? Like, how have you personally witnessed that elite level of support here at Texas A&M?
Honestly, every time we have a 12th Man Foundation event, it's packed to the brim every time. And everybody there is so nice. Whenever we're sitting down doing a panel or something, everybody's attentive. And you can just tell they're there for us and they love us. And you can really tell that they want us to do great.
Mm-hmm. You were a part, speaking of events, 12th Man Foundation events, you were a part of an autograph session event back this summer, where Texas Aggies United and 12th Man Foundation members were invited to attend, meet y'all, hear an offensive panel and a defensive panel, take pictures, get autographs. Tell us about that day and why you enjoyed it.
That day was pretty fun. Honestly, for me, it's seeing all the younger kids and how ecstatic they are. And honestly, sometimes the older people, because, they're really tied into it. They don't just see the outside. They're really doing their research, and then they come up and have those conversations with you that are deeper. And so those conversations, and then getting to see the kids and their smiles.
And, it's those supporters. I mean, they're not just fair weather fans. Like, they are there to support y'all and come watch y'all through the thick and the thin, they're always there to support, always there to offer any kind of help. And they want to see y'all succeed, not only just here at Texas A&M, but beyond,
I could attest to that with the Notre Dame game, honestly. When we walked in there and you could see maroon vividly in the crowd, I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a good time.
Yeah, I didn't go to that game personally, but I heard that it felt like there were just as many Aggies.
Yeah, it felt like we was at home. It felt like we was at home, honestly.
That's awesome. Really awesome. Okay, Dalton, so, looking ahead to the future and thinking about your goals, what do you want to achieve for the remainder of your time in Aggieland? And then tell us about your goals beyond.
Honestly, I want to just bring a national championship here, honestly. That's the dream. That's my true reason. I want to bring a championship here, And then obviously I want to make it to the NFL. But for me, I want to be able to support my family for years and years and years. That's my main goal, honestly.
What would be your message of gratitude to, kind of going back to the 12th Man Foundation donors and season ticket holders and those individuals who give so selflessly? What's your message of gratitude to them for pouring back and investing into the future, the present and the future of Aggie football and Texas A&M athletics?
I would just say thank you. It's a blessing, honestly. Not too many people get to do this. So them giving us this opportunity, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And they come support us no matter where we are, no matter how cold, how hot, raining, sleet. I know they'll be there and they'll be loud. So I would just tell them thank you, and we're going to keep putting it on for them.
What's dream NFL team?
I don't have one. I've never had a favorite team.
Really?
Yeah, growing up, I just loved Reggie Bush. But other than that, I've never had a team. So for me, it's whoever wants Dalton Brooks, honestly.
And then, Dalton, to wrap up today, why are you specifically proud to be a fighting Texas Aggie?
Coming from a small town, like I said, this is a real tight-knit place. It's true. The culture here is true, and the people here are real. So just being able to be around this every day makes you feel like, a real, true Aggie, and I'm proud to be that.
Dalton Brooks on Answering the Call podcast. Dalton, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Answering the Call. If you're enjoying the show, please rate and follow us on your podcast streaming platform of choice so you can be the first to know when a new episode drops. As always, a big thank you to our incredible podcast producer, Megan Rohde, to 12th Man Productions and Texas A&M Athletics NIL Department. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to every donor and season ticket holder for always answering the call through loyal support of Texas A&M Athletics and our student athletes. We will be back soon with more content. Thanks, and gig 'em.